Hello, my name is Karen Canfell. I'm Professor and Director of the Daffodil Centre at the University of Sydney and Cancer Council, New South Wales. Our team at the Daffodil Centre has been privileged to work in Ireland to anticipate and estimate the potential timing of cervical cancer elimination in Ireland. And today we wish you well on your journey towards elimination. So in 2020, the World Health Organization announced a global strategic plan for cervical cancer elimination. And this is based on scaling up 3 proven sets of interventions, or 3 pillars of cervical cancer control. The first is prophylactic HPV vaccination, and the target by 2030 in all countries is to achieve 90% coverage in young girls. The second pillar is HPV-based cervical screening, and the target by 2030 is to achieve 70% coverage or better for at least twice lifetime screening in all women. And then the third pillar is access to cervical cancer treatment for those women that require it, and also access to pre-cancer treatment. So in Ireland, the key thing I think is building on the successes that you've had. You've introduced prophylactic vaccination back in 2010. You've moved now to primary HPV screening in 2020. And I think by keeping up the coverage and access to these important programs and to cervical cancer treatment, Ireland will be on track to eliminate cervical cancer. Over the last 12 to 18 months, our team at the Daffodil Centre in Australia has worked closely with the team in Ireland. And this has been a fantastic collaboration where we've shared data and we've shared insights in order to model forward and predict rates of cervical cancer in Ireland going forward and to anticipate the timing of elimination. Now, elimination of cervical cancer isn't quite the same entity as eradication of the HPV virus. They're 2 different concepts. Elimination means that rates of cervical cancer in Ireland will drop so low that it will be considered to be controlled. It will be a rate of less than 4 per 100,000 women per annum, a very low rate indeed. And it's been a fantastic collaboration as we've used the available data on vaccine uptake, on the screening program transition, and a whole range of other studies and data sources from Ireland to work together to predict the potential timing of elimination. Our team at the Daffodil Centre was one of those modelling groups that supported the World Health Organization in the original strategic planning for elimination. And our platform, which is a very comprehensive predictive platform for cervical cancer control, is called Policy One Cervix. In the last period, working with our Ireland collaborators, we've used data from Ireland to adapt this platform, including data on the HPV vaccination program, on cervical screening, and on cancer treatment. And we've adapted the model platform, taking into account the timing and uptake of vaccination and screening in Ireland. What we've been able to predict together is that because of the innovations that Ireland has introduced, vaccination and screening with HPV, Ireland is actually on track to eliminate cervical cancer in the period between 2039 and 2049. And in fact, our best estimate at this stage is that it would be around 2040. So this would mean Ireland would be one of the first countries, not the complete first, but one of the first countries to eliminate cervical cancer worldwide. So the results of the new study announced today predict that Ireland will be able to eliminate cervical cancer, achieve rates so low that it will be considered to be controlled by around the year 2040. And this is a combination of interventions. This is introducing the prophylactic vaccine, that's moving to a next generation vaccine. And it's also switching from cytology or pap smear-based screening to a more sensitive approach to screening for cervical cancer. And that's using HPV, the molecular marker that puts women at risk as a screening test. So it's really that switch and that combination of interventions that set Ireland on track to eliminate cervical cancer by 2040. I think it's really important to commend Ireland for the progress that's been made in cervical cancer control over the last few years. This is a milestone that you're achieving today, and I think it's built on the back of the progress that's been made in prophylactic HPV vaccination and its rollout in Ireland, as well as the move to primary HPV screening. It's these two sets of interventions together, combined with your access to cancer treatment services, that will position Ireland to be on the path to cervical cancer elimination within 17 short years. And we wish you all the best with your continued endeavours.